Well, before anything today, I want to say thank you for everyone that's tuned in and listening today. This is the Peaceful Warrior podcast featuring a mom space segment. I am just so grateful to have you on today, Chassie Jacobs. Do I have you on?
I'm here. I'm on.
Yes, girl, because you are family. So we have family on today. And even though a lot of my friendships and colleagues and people that I know and share time and space with are friends like family, you are family today. So it's really good to have you on and just talk a little bit about mommyhood, how it's changed for you over the years, and what you have going on right now. And speaking of right now, this is a special week for you, right? You've got a little one starting school for pretty much the first time if you don't include daycares.
Correct. And boy, has it been a whirlwind. Lots of emotions. Lots of emotions.
I'm so grateful for your honesty for that, because that's exactly what the world needs more of from us moms, is not necessarily saying, oh yeah, everything's great, everything's fine. It really is a whirlwind. And is it just me, or do the hours fly by when they're at school? It's like very fast but very slow for the week. It's
Oh my
like
God.
two different tempos at the same time going on.
At
So
the same time. Literally. Literally. I mean, it's like not enough hours in the day. It's just not.
I can imagine. And for, I'm family, so I know you so well. Let's first go back just a little bit. We said you had a little one that was starting school. So that's your young king there. And he's still starting elementary school, correct?
Correct. We started pre-K.
Pre-K. Okay, nothing pre about pre-K, really. They do kind of jump in with things. And so, yes, not really a lot of pre about it. But the pre part about things for you is you've been in this space before a couple times, because you also do have two queens as well.
I do. I do. My oldest is 20. She will
Oh
be
my gosh,
21 in
time flies.
December. Yes. And then I have my baby girl, as I consider her, which is no longer a baby. She is 17 and will be 18 in a week here. So, yes, 20 and
Whoop,
18.
whoop. You've
All
done
my
that,
children.
Mom. You've done that.
Thank you.
And then you said, let me go back and do it again. Was
Let me
that
go.
like a big, huge blessing in your life? I think it certainly was. I think it was like an answered prayer for you, though, having this little guy, this little king in your life.
I definitely was about to say that. Have you heard? Well, I know you have. Tell God your plans and he'll laugh. That's what we'll go ahead and title that. Have been praying many years before he actually was conceived and actually had. And
Mhm.
God's time framing is always the best time frame. I will say, I was prepared and ready, and yeah, I got my boy. So I got my two girls and my son, and I'm extremely grateful
Extremely grateful and complete.
and
And
complete.
it's funny that you mentioned a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, because in the bigger scheme of things, many people before the times of today would say that I had my first child like later on in life. And I just remember you tackling on mommyhood like way before me. But there are times where I'm going through my day to day with even my oldest, and I'm thinking back to you and some of the wisdom that you imparted. And I mean, you were still younger, but there was so much maturity that you were gaining by having those baby girls. And I just remember was, no, I want them to have a good childhood. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, just exposing them to different things and letting them experience fun times. And especially what would highlight would be their summers. It was like every single time a summer break or hit, it was like you had 3 and 4 things already lined up, for them to be doing. And I would be like, how is she doing all this? How is she going to this carnival and that movie and, this event at the park? I mean, do you feel like your energy levels then were able to maintain differently from now?
So much so. so so much so. I often reminisce and think back also, like, okay, Chas, like, you had two, because I had two small kids. So not only was I young, but I had two small children, and they were both under 5.
Mm.
And so it would be a lot of times where I was like, okay, girls. But again, God really kept me in this, because I never felt like I didn't have the energy for it, you know?
Right.
It was more or less always, what are we gonna do now? Like, what do I do now? And there were always endless opportunities for me to do different things, which I'm grateful. At that time, I had a really good support system to be able to be a
Mhm.
village and help me out, because I was working full time also.
Yes.
So it was a
Yes.
lot of elements going on and playing its a part. But I am grateful now looking back, and also the
Mhm.
girls, they reminisce a lot also. And they always say that, they didn't miss a beat. And as far as they're concerned, they really did have a good childhood. They had a lot of experiences to pull from and remember. And so,
Yes.
all in all, I just feel grateful for that, because some days, as a parent on this side and this brain,
Mhm.
you're looking at it in different eyes, right? Because you're the parent, you're the adult. And
You know better.
right. But you're trying to think about the resources and the money, and
Ex-
okay, the bandwidth to do all of this.
the
And so,
logistics
yeah,
and
the
yes.
logistics of it, and okay, can I do part-time this day? And
Hmm.
use your weekends, but then your weekends you need to also do your housework and things. So the juggling of it all is what we see and feel, but the children on the other end of it, they just see fun times.
Right.
fun,
As
fun
they
times.
should,
Right.
as they really should, because we do that on purpose for them.
Right.
And it's best when they understand that it's very purposeful. We are making a point to create a certain experience for them. And it's not always Disneyland, but
Yes.
we
Yes.
definitely put in the work and in the effort. And it's funny that you even mentioned cleaning, because I started the episode today bringing up gratitude. I had this huge moment before we were getting on. It was just like, express gratitude. That's one of your huge things, right? Is
Yes. Okay.
gratitude, and God. You've mentioned God a couple times, so I know that that's very relevant. But honey, also housework. Not to throw
Yes.
housework in with gratitude and God, but that's kind of three things that I think about with you too. And it's funny you mentioned it, because sometimes there are times where I'm cleaning and I'm like, you know what? Let me put on some music. That's what Chaz would do to kind of this
Yes.
time a different kind of experience. So, what's some of your favorite music to listen to while you're cleaning house?
Oh my God, I'm such an old soul when it comes to that. It kind of puts you in the mind frame of the older woman when they used to put on the goodies and the oldies. You know
Yes.
me, I'm going straight to Anita Baker. I'm going to
Okay.
Tony Braxton. Oh my
Okay.
God, I love to sing to them while I'm cleaning up. My 90s R&B.
Yes.
If I'm feeling a little, down in spirit, and I
Yeah.
need a good pick me up, or just like you said, gratitude, and I'm praising my inspirational gospel, some good Kirk
Yes.
Franklin, some Fred Hammond,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
some
Those
Paul
are all
Morton,
really good
yeah,
thoughts. And it makes me wonder then too, do you feel like because of course our kids see us, cleaning up, and we hope that they maintain, those habits as well. They see us cleaning, maybe it'll, produce these children that kind of want to clean or appreciate, being clean, especially as people would say for young ladies. But
right.
what about the music that you listen to? Do you find that they're picking up on that same music as well? Like, do they have an appreciation for something that was before their time?
Oh my God, yes, they do. It was so funny. I was picking up one of the girls the other evening, and I was listening to Betty Wright.
Oh, wow.
I
Just
was
picking
listening
them
to
up in the
Betty Wright.
car. Hey,
Just
girls,
picking up, just
listen to
picking them
this.
up. Yeah. And it was so funny because my oldest, she's singing with me. She's just singing no pain, no gain.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, girl, look at you. You
Wow.
got a little soul in you. But it was just funny because Leia was like really singing along, you know. And I'm like,
Right,
okay,
right.
girl.
So Leia's the 20-year-old,
Leia's the
and
20-year-old, right? And
and then you
Sierra is my, yes.
soon to be 17. So she has a birthday coming up. How do you think birthdays have changed? This is a question I like asking the moms as well. Like, when they're younger, you go through planning these young parties. And I've said this before because, that's your special time with them. As they get older, they kind of want to spend it with friends. But one thing I will say is your girls are still like, no, I want my family dinner. Like when it comes to the ratio of friends and family that will be at this dinner, I guarantee you what she might bring like one friend or something and the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
family.
Definitely. You already know. Literally, I believe it's two friends this time because,
Oh,
we're doing a big
okay.
age.
Getting a
But
little older, right? I want
yeah, but
to
no,
now.
she will have her family there always. Yep.
I love that. And I love that you've kind of encouraged that with them as well. Like to have that appreciation for those family bonds and because not to come off as a certain way at all, but life does seem short, and when you're younger you don't really grasp that thought. You don't really grasp it.
Right.
You're young, you're feeling good, everything's firm, and you have your whole world ahead of you. Then you look up,
Right.
years have passed by, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, life is too short.
Yeah.
This is how I want to experience. So with that thought, like I loved all the travel on your IG that I've seen in the last years. And not to say it's not something that you didn't want to do maybe in your 20s, but when I just think about the level up on the travel, I love it for you. Do you feel like as you're getting older, you're like, hey, one life to live, life is too short. Let me get out and really just see more.
Most definitely. Most definitely. That, and also once you kind of, get in the habit of going on different trips, and as you're tripping, you're going to different places, it's kind of like it's contagious, and you get like a little buzz, like a little zest for life almost, because you're seeing new things, you're experiencing new foods in new places, and you're learning the city's culture that you're in for those few days, and you're seeing how they do their day-to-day routines, and then also whatever highlights that brought you to their side of the
The
world.
world, right?
Yeah, and I just love it. I really love it. I'm
That's
so,
good.
yeah, it's something else that I'm also very grateful that I'm getting to experience, because
Mhm.
like you said, my early 20s and mid 20s was dedicated a lot to motherhood, and having to
Mhm.
really just provide that stable foundation for the girls. So now that I'm able to be able to go out and travel, I just love it. I just love it. And I'm so excited about like what's to come, even for my birthdays and different milestones that we hit. I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
I'm
You
ready.
are you are ready to go. I can feel it in your energy. Like you like vitamin
Yeah.
what? I don't need that. Like I'm gonna give me some
Yeah.
sunshine. So how does that feel then when you're taking a break from the kids? Just to bring it back to the mom space just a little bit, because I could get carried away with talking about travel and that experience. But isn't it so much different when you're leaving a kid?
Oh
And
my God.
not just to say you don't trust the people you're living with. I don't even mean from that perspective, but just
Yeah.
even just them staying back and you
Yes.
wanting to share everything with them, but then you also needing to have this balance of, okay, mommy needs, me time, grown up time, or time away. How does that I guess you could say, how does that balance flow for your life when you're like, okay, see you later, mommy's gonna go vacate now?
Yes, it kind of like, I don't know, is it just me, or do you also feel like it's just like a little tug, just a little tug at your heartstrings a
Oh,
little bit?
absolutely.
Because,
That's why I had to ask about it, because
yeah, you just,
I know it's so easy to pick up and find guilt everywhere as a mom. I
right.
promise, when you're a mom, trees are guilt. It's like
Okay.
everywhere you go, there is an opportunity to feel bad. Oh, I didn't bring them here. I didn't give them that. Or, I
Yes.
could have handled this differently. So, of course, and that's why I ask, anybody listening, they can understand you're not alone when you're doing those FaceTime calls and you're kind of cringing like,
That's
please
right.
let me get off the phone without making me feel bad about it. Please don't cry. Please don't make me a
Right.
face. And then
Yes.
you find yourself saying, Mommy will be back in a couple days. And you're like, please let these days really max themselves out though.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, if you think about it honestly, like you do deserve that time. Like you actually need
Amen.
that time to keep your brain sane, to be able to accomplish all that you do. And then that's another thing about vacationing that I have to always remember. We prepare and we wait so long, right? It's a big preparation. Like you do your countdowns, you're like, okay, I got my outfits, and then you get to this moment, and then it's filled automatically with guilt, and then rushing back and feeling like you need to get back. And it's like, no, 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 you need to be in the moment, stay in the moment. It's okay to miss them, but they're okay and being cared for. So now you take that time and you care for yourself, because that's
It's
just going to rejuvenate you and get you back and to keep
yes.
you a better you.
No, yes. And I was just about to say that you are a big advocate. I'm going to use the word advocate. It sounds strong, but for
I love that word.
self-care. For
Oh, that's my
self-care.
favorite word. Of course.
Yes.
Always. You have to.
What are some ways that you feel other moms out there, if they're just like, listen, I don't even have time to do this. I mean, I don't even know where to start with it. What suggestions would you have for those moms, or some ways that maybe you experience self-care?
Right. So, like, oftentimes, right, when we think about self care, most people are thinking about like a massage or going to a spa or something that
Right.
just has to be like planned out and glorious. No, no, ma'am. Self care literally looks like maybe going get a pedicure, getting your feet rubbed on for maybe 15 minutes, going to Starbucks, getting you whatever drink of choice, and just sitting there and basking in silence. Because as moms, we all
Ooh,
appreciate
silence is golden.
silence. Woo-hoo, baby. We
So I'm
love it.
not the only one that loves my silence then.
Oh no, ma'am.
Oh, that's so
That's
good to
mother's
know.
look. We are united as women with our
We
silence. We
should just
love it.
all get together and make one big circle of silence
Yes.
where we all just
Where we're just like,
be silent in nature, and no whining and no mom, no crying, no asking for this. No, just a moment of silence. So
just a moment of
that's
silence.
good. So
Ooh,
you think even like the simple things can be considered self-care, and that's
of
really
course.
good to hear and to share with others.
Yeah, don't
And
put
I'm
so heavy
sure.
pressure on yourself about it. Even, don't, because I think that's where women get caught up at, and then they end up not doing it because they're like,
Anything at all, right?
yeah, because they're like, oh well, no, well, I prefer to do it this way, or I want to do, yeah, on a larger scale with more time. But right now, all you have is 10 minutes,
10 minutes,
10
10
minutes,
mom
mom.
minutes, 10
How you
mom
gonna
minutes.
make it work?
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I think too, when I try to make too big of a moment of it, then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know if this is self-care or this is maintenance, because there are
Right,
times where I can go into the nail salon and it feels like self-care, but then other times it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so far behind on this. This is more maintenance. This is something that I need to do, not even something that I'm looking forward to squeezing in. So
right, right.
things like going and having a cup of coffee, a cup of hot tea, and sitting down in the actual location, not
Right.
the drive-through,
Not the drive-through.
or even if you go through the drive-through, I sometimes just pull into a parking space. If I
Yeah,
have
just
one seat
park.
in the back,
Yeah,
oh my goodness, I'm like, I'm going to park in this parking space and I'm going to sit here, and I'm not going to, be in traffic while I'm trying to drink this $8 cappuccino. I want to sit in the parking lot and enjoy it
right.
for a few minutes. So that's definitely some good sound advice for sure. And I hope that when your daughters are listening to this as well, that they're saying, you know what, well, mom says she's going to Starbucks. Let's not call her. Let's just
Right.
let her have
Or
a
not,
few minutes.
let's not give her an order
Yeah, give her
to
an
bring
order
back.
exactly to tell you what they want you to get for them. while you're there, because it's like, hey, really, I was kind of doing this for me, but yeah, I'll go ahead and get you a little donut before I go, or
Right.
something like that. No, that's a really cool idea, though. I like the idea of just embracing the small, short moments.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying like all the I guess motherhood vibes that we all kind of go through, that we're sharing them right now today. And I usually try to wrap these up with a question. And that question is, what does ask and ye shall receive mean for you in your life? Ask and ye shall receive.
Because you got to be careful with the words, because nowadays I feel like everybody's taking manifest and they're just doing really.
Doing the most with it, with that
Yes.
word.
And
I understand.
yeah. So when I say this genuinely and purely.
Okay.
But when I hear that, I hear write something down, make it plain, and then from there you start putting in the work because you sowed your seed, and then from there whoever you pray to or your God, but for me it is God. I put my request in and with him, and then from there I'm doing my work, and the universe and the other side is doing their work, and together collectively we're making it happen. And I'm a very
Ooh,
action
yes.
person. I love action. I don't really get too caught up on words so much.
Mm-hmm.
I love action. So when I start seeing little things pop up, to me, that's my motivation. I'm like, okay, we're going in the right direction. Okay, that door open. All right, we're
It
doing
must be
it.
something happening, right?
Let
It's
something
kind of
happen.
nudging you
Right.
along to keep going, like, and to keep
Right.
finding the right things. As for, well, one of the words that I love that you used is collectively. It's almost like you're saying you're co-creating, correct? Like almost like a
Yes.
little collaboration with the Lord.
Yes. Most
Like we're
definitely.
in this
Most definitely.
together. You're
Well,
with
because
me.
they say faith without works is dead. So how can I ask something of ye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without or with thinking that me sitting on my hands is gonna make it come, you know? No,
Yes, sitting on your
no.
hands. I
Sitting
could
on your
just
hands
so
is
see that
nothing.
visual right
Yeah,
now of sitting
me
on your
too.
hands and then
Right,
asking for something to be handed to you. And I
right,
just got
right,
it really clear when you just said that. So
right.
I love that special way that you take that on, because there's a lot of accountability in it. There's a lot of responsibility in it, but
Yeah,
in the responsibility and accountability is the power,
right,
because once we say, if this did of me, if it did go right, it's also because of the collaboration that I have with him. And I
that's right.
love that thought. I love that thought. And I just want to thank you so much again for joining me today, fam. I love it.
I love it. I'm so happy. I'm happy to
Good,
be a part. I'm
good.
loving it. I'm loving watching the movement. I support it. And I know you're going to continue to do big things
The work of the Lord.
with the Lord.
I'm collaborating
A good
with
collabo.
moms
Good
and the
collabo.
Lord to make all this happen. So I appreciate it again so much. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem. Anytime.